family. So a couple weeks ago when you were over at the house, I told you about a recipe that I've been making for a delicious egg bake. And it comes out so much better than your traditional baked eggs that can be dry and that you don't really want to eat throughout the week because they just get an awful texture when you warm them up in the microwave. Well, today I'm going to show you how I make my egg bake. It's very, very easy. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 375 with a shallow pan of water on the lower shelf. So part of what makes this recipe so easy is that you measure it in 8s and 4s and you put in whatever you want, whatever you have on hand. So today I'm using some sausage patties. These are already fully cooked. I'm going to dice these and I'm going to put it in an 8x8 pan. So 4 sausages, 8x8 pan. And it's going to make 8 servings. So very simple and easy to remember. And this is going to go into the oven with the shallow pan of water while the oven preheats to 375. You want to cut your sausages into nice small bites so that they mix well with your egg mixture. And I'm just going to toss those into the pan. I also have some leftover grilled vegetables and I thought I'd dice those up and add them as well. This is some grilled eggplant. This is some sauteed onions. And some sauteed green peppers. Again, whatever you decide to put into your egg bake is fine, but I would recommend using a cooked version. So when I put this into the oven to preheat, we'll just make sure that everything is warm when I add the eggs, and that will help cut down on the cooking time. It'll also help them start to release some of their oil, and that will serve, we don't need to oil the pan or add any extra fat to the pan. And that way the eggs won't stick. So I'll wash my hands. Okay, so now I'm going to put the pans in the oven and then I'll turn on the oven to preheat. The first pan that's going in is a loaf pan. I have it about 1/4 to 1/3 of the way full of water. And that will go on the bottom rack. And then the pan with the diced cooked sausage and cooked vegetables is going to go right on the middle rack. And we'll set that for 375. And now we'll make our egg mixture. So while the oven is preheating to 375, I'll go ahead and crack 8 eggs. Again, it's an 8x8 pan, so I'm going to use 8 eggs into the blender. Then I'll add some cream and we'll whip this up. And by the time the oven is fully preheated, we'll be ready to pour our eggs in. Well, Rob says cheddar always makes it better, but I have this little block of Jarlsberg left over, so I'm going to use Swiss this time. And I'm going to grate it and put it in when I put the egg mixture into the pan. And the amount of cheese, you can be flexible. If you like a lot of cheese, put more. If you don't like so much cheese, put a little or none at all. Anything is fine. I'm going to see what maybe half of this block looks like. Oh, definitely, we could put a little bit more than that. I find it's well worth putting the little extra effort to grate your own cheese as opposed to buying the pre-shredded cheese. it's a little more economical to buy the blocks and shred it yourself. And in addition, the pre-shredded cheese that you buy in the bags in the grocery store comes like with an anti-caking agent, so a little bit of starch, usually listed as some sort of food grade cellulose that they put on it, and I think it affects the taste and the consistency in your dish. So again, just takes a little while with a little box grater. Well worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to make the egg mixture. I have 8 eggs in my blender, and if yours were on the small side, these are 8 large. They were pretty uniform. You know, you can certainly put up to 10 eggs in here. And I have a good amount of heavy cream, about 1/4 cup. Again, trying to keep with the 8-and-4 ratio. I think I have enough salt already with the cheese that I'm going to add, plus the vegetables were already seasoned with salt and pepper, but I am going to add a little marjoram into the egg mixture once it's all blended up. Something from watching Julia Child's cooking show where she said to whip your eggs, and then when you think they're already whipped, whip them for a minute more. And when I use the blender, that I like to have them go pretty high and get nice and fluffy, and that consistency is going to help when the eggs bake, and they'll stay nice and light for you. Next, just a couple of shakes of the dried herb. Again, I have marjoram on hand, so I'm going to use that. But any herbs you like, or none at all, depending on your taste. And we're just about to temperature, and when we are, we'll show you how this all comes together and bakes in the oven. Okay, so our oven is all preheated. I'm going to take the pan out and assemble the rest. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to check to see how much grease was let go from the onions. Those were cooked in oil, and the sausage, and I can see a nice shimmer on the bottom of the pan, so I'm not worried about the egg sticking. So I'm going to pour the egg mixture in. Get that nice froth on top. That looks good. And then I'm going to top with the cheese. Okay, now it's time to put it in the oven. Okay, we're going to bake it until it's brown and puffy. That'll be about 25 to 35 minutes, and I'll turn it partway through to make sure that the cooking is even. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes. Took a little longer this time, I think, because of the vegetables, but it's time to come out. Turned it once. Oh, that looks so good. Look at all that cheesy browning goodness. Okay, now it's time to slice it up. It's cool for just a little bit and set in. So we'll try to get a piece out. As I use the spatula in there, see it releases perfectly. Okay, we've taken the still shots, we've made it look pretty. Now the taste test. Really good. very, very soft eggs, full of flavor from all of those grilled vegetables. You're gonna love it. Give it a try. Thanks to my cameraman and devoted husband Rob for all his photography and video support, and we'll see you next time.